Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Mhm. Well, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Let me tell you what's going on. And a lot of stuff got started at, and people was being nosy, and it was obvious what they was doing. Oh, that man that called himself Danny Tompkins messed up so bad. Oh, he better not be on none of my property. He better not be, cause it ain't nothing nice. It ain't nothing nice. He's been a nuisance involved in everything. He was with Diddy now and Smokey Robinson now, man. You know, doing stuff for Tyler Perry now. I'm talking about the list went on and on. He was right there with him and on the one. They broke in my house and, had kidnapped my other kids and the other guy had. hmm I got pictures of all of these people on social media. hmm Yeah. 50 Cent, all of them know what's going on because he was their mouth. He was the one breaking in, doing all type stuff. The man, Danny Tompkins. We knew he know how to read though, and what he was being nosy about. Now I told you all, I've been a world leader since I was a child. That's one, you know. For two, now with me being a world leader and going to meetings and stuff, everybody knew me. Yeah, they know me. They know me. Now the man Danny Thompson, now I told you, I knew Kim Chong and Putin and all the other people and uh Prince Charles um and King, and Diana and them and Victoria and everybody. I knew these people. I know other royalty. And they know me. People who ran their countries, you know. But the thing is that so he dated this young lady they call her Renita. Okay, she's very naive for him for one. She got some twin sons by this other guy. And he started calling her kids Putin. Everybody was looking, doing stuff about stuff and was stealing papers and all this stuff. I'm not relating to Putin, the Russian leader. I'm not related to him. So, oh man, she got somebody in their family they call Putin. He not in my family, you know. Mm-mm. No, no relation whatsoever. You know, not related to Putin at all. Mm-mm. And the names and stuff, everything was just going on and on, and it was obvious who was stealing from me. Remember, I told you all about when they stole my kids, broke into my kids' daddy's house, stole TV, stole the TVs that was in my house, and all that stuff. The main TV was that I can look at my kids. Where they at, they tune in, clear everything. Oh, hey, mom, I'm in the house. And and this, that, and the other. But Danny was with them when they did that stuff too. And when I shot them dudes, he was with them. hmm When the other dude kidnapped my son and threw my other little baby out the car. hmm hmm And the other little boy that they took, they kind of talking about some bad stuff. I'm like, you don't treat them kids bad because of their nationality. And this, and that. What is wrong with y'all talking about some stuff with nips now? But all the time, all of them kicking it with each other. You see what I'm saying? Okay. Now, the point is, all of them congregated with each other and did the stuff that they did. See, Daddy thought he was gonna get away with everything, and him too. supposed to have been gone to prison. The thing is, they was trying to get locations and real names and all that and who they related to because of some stuff Danny was saying. They caught Danny was doing some stuff, and they was asking me stuff. I didn't know him. I didn't know him. And here go the same thing dealing with the one they call Lynn Mills. Remember I told you about their other friend Danny. See, Lynn Mills is the stupid. She's stupid. The reason why I say that, she think other people stupid, thinking because somebody wanna suck and lick on somebody, it's okay to deal with them. And oh, he know how to do this. He be doing it. What makes y'all think I'm into people? Because that's what I mean. The average adult do that, you know. But why in the world is y'all steady sending these dudes to me? You know? Oh, okay. Let me see. It's restricted because of what I said. But it's the truth. Why would you all sending people to me to try to do that stuff to me? I wasn't interested in none of them. And I had told you all, to be honest, I wasn't even no big into sex type person. Mm-mm. I still, even though I had got raped, I still was a virgin. I didn't have any children or anything. I told you all. Hmm. Now I'm gonna get to it. Although I got pregnant with my first son, Demetrius from Lori Jr., little Meech, I wasn't that experienced in sex. I'll be honest. He used to be trying to tell me what to do. Do it like this. Do it like that. You know, because my first experience, I got raped, and my uncle Ben knew who raped me, and I told you all about that too. Ben knew where I was at the whole time and what was going on. Hmm. That's why he didn't want to get that reward money from his own mama, or my granny, my great granny Elsa, because he knew when he went to court, he was gonna have to tell the whole thing. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. So anyway, that's the type of stuff that was going on. That was the type of stuff that was going on. I have a lot of people that was on the networks that knew what was going on. Y'all remember Nancy Gray? She was an attorney. I actually hired her to work for CNN. So, and one time she had started tripping. I was getting mad at her. Girl, what is you doing? Then she snapped back and started turning their butts up again. Oh, Nancy Grace. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And she ain't nobody I just hired because, I mean, we had to met each other face to face and everything, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But as you know, me being a world leader, having my own country, um, the things I own and companies and all that stuff didn't come from it. That stuff came because of me, you know? And a few things came from my daddy. Yep. Yeah. But like they said, though, when they were saying him and my mom was dead, at first they weren't dead. Mm. But they had no business rooting me up from Jamaica from my grandma great now. They just snatched me from my granny, talking about her mom and daddy ain't dead. What in the world? It didn't make no sense. But they weren't dead. So individuals got in trouble for that too. You know. What is this? I'm trying to see what they put on her. There is not no harassment and bullying. Who said my stuff was harassing and bullying? Okay. It is not. They is on here talking I'm harassing. Oh, they took it off of there. I'm harassing, bully, and tell you about crimes that happened. And that man they called himself Danny Tompkins and Ricky Tompkins, all them was involved in it. And how them dudes ran off with my son. And it was obvious who it was because, I fired at them. I was sitting in my room on my laptop. It's in the 80s. They broke in my house, rushed me. I heard someone go crash. I said, oh, shit. I still sat at my table, but I locked my bedroom door. I didn't say nothing. The kids talking. Mommy, somebody trying to come. Mama, mama. They cussing, acting all tough, and I fired at them. Even while I'm doing it, they steady grab my babies. It was Daddy them, this other man. I got all their stuff. I know who they is when they be here on TikTok. And that man, Danny Tompkins, yeah, involved in all of it. See, them TVs told tales, told stuff. And then another crime. I told you about my husband. They got killed. 3 stacks. How they killed him, how his brother set him up. Joe Budden started that. His little brother was in junior high school, middle school. And they always used to be in the basement. All the boys, the guy had the games down there and shoot about 10 controllers. It's comfortable down there. Cool, everything. House used to be cold anyway. Wiz Khalifa tell you that. But anyway, um, all those grown people started messing with his little brother. Sure them all they grown butts. And they burned him. So he was mad. So we thinking he messing with one of them little girls, maybe Nicole, Tasha, them, and he being around Edie them and all them kids. Nikki Riley them little baby, youngest baby sister, T baby daughter, cause all of them was around the same age, basically, kind of. I think T baby daughter Nicole Tasha them was like in the 5th or 6th grade. They was going to Lily Freeman. He was going to Hughes Quinn, but he was like 13. But all the kids was hanging with each other. And all the time when they getting sexual diseases is coming from them grown folks. He was mad as I don't know what. And I told Cheryl to get out of my house. And why was she in there? And why she was down there with them kids? What is you doing? Why is you in my house anyway? That's what started it. He was around the house. He was bitching. Of course he was. Because Antoine, Corky, and them sure had them that tore their butts up, them boys up. Sure go run and tell Joe Budden. Joe Budden see 3 Stacks' little brother. That one that he was trying to act like he was old. He was at the award show with the piano on his back, the fake piano. And he that was that. So Joe Budden had seen Joe Budden grab him one day, had him by his neck. So he better shut your mouth up and this and all that. Choking him. I took care of that situation. Cause my husband was at work. He come home and he's sitting at the table and I had to brace his neck and all that type of stuff. And had gave a pain pill. He's sitting at the table. Can you see what happened to him? And I told him, I said, I took care of that. And I told him what happened. He was mad still. This is his little brother. Why in the hell is somebody messing with them? And Joe Budden had tried to fight Corky and Antoine. Antoine to be around Eddie them. All of them was going off on Diddy's son, all of them. Diddy had a son look like him. He was a teenager then too. That's his son by his wife Kim mama. That look just like him. So Diddy mad too. And Diddy had got his son. They left. He mad. They went home. You know. So Joe Budden and Diddy Oregon, and Diddy fussing but bragging how he ain't never gave nobody no sexual disease though. Ain't nobody got burned. Nothing happened to him. Nothing. Ain't with no chlamydia, no gonorrhea and all that. What you on? What you on, Joe? What you was on, Joe Budden? With the podcast? Yeah, that's what it started with. But at the same time, Diddy don't care about nothing. See what I'm saying? Because he kind of laughed at his son and told his son that's what he get. That's what he told him. When it all boiled down. Now, the proof more in the pudding, I told y'all on Samsung and Apple. Now, you know the ring. You know the ring that you can buy through Samsung or Apple. The first one I invented. The titanium ring. The ring that look real thick. And you can, it records you, your steps, everything. That ring does so much and it's attached to your cell phone. That's what my husband had. Mm-hmm. Yep. My husband had that. And he had it on when he got killed. And I was like, where is this? Because I'm telling the military, oh, I made this. I got these electronics. I got this. I got that. I had to explain to the military how everything worked. My electronics and stuff. And Diddy had the ring, and one of my employees had called him too. A couple of times. They was like, and he still got the ring on. Why in the world he's not locked up? Because see, when the stuff first came out, it was in testing stage. So that's before I started putting the GPS available. Like you could use a Google and everything was being tested and being put out there. And now we was dealing with personal tracking devices, and it was in my husband's ring. When those rings first came out and was available to the public, that was like $8,900, $800 or $900. They like $300 now, anywhere from 3 to 4, depending on which one you select and all that, and its capabilities. But it's still tracking devices. Daddy had the ring. Hmm. They was able to recover the cell phone. So like I said, we got the phone charged because see Kenny Bo now, lacing them. All of them was having the phone. Deonka Brown, that's what they call them. Lace that be with Ducci now. They answering the phone doing, ain't realizing military calling, everybody calling. They was able to confiscate it. They making up stories all the time. They was there. They the ones killed them. You know, they the ones raped my husband and all that. But that ring told it all in that cell phone. They had that phone for a long time, for about a month. I had to let it ride, and I couldn't say now. I'm in the house crying my butt off. I was so distraught by that, like with my kids, all this stuff was going on. I couldn't even make it to the front where the military came to me. It was like what? That stuff tore me up, and then I know how he died. They tied him up with gray tape. My husband wasn't gay, mm-mm. Bisexual or nothing. They raped him. All of them had sex with him. Mm-hmm. Anally. They all on him, sucking on him, doing all this stuff, lace with her nasty butt. By that time, he was dead. Oliver Walker and them had broke his neck. To see him and Oliver got into it too, because I kept telling him to get out of my house. Cheryl, you started all that stuff. Oh, it was Cheryl. It was Cheryl. Yeah, Andy told it too. Because some of what they was doing was, okay, they had them kids bringing up a whole bunch of stuff. And my husband name wasn't no Dre. That's his brother they was calling Dre. That's his brother, Andre 3000. That was my husband's brother. He got some more brother. All of them resemble each other. But what they did to my husband, they tied him up. Only reason why he died. Anyway, his brother was in on it. One of his other brothers. And Fred Patterson was in on it. Fred Patterson. But they tied them up, they raped them. They started off with the smallest dude that was with them with the smallest penis up to the biggest. First person went was Kenny Bo. Kenny Bo talking about, dog, man, he ain't like that. Man, I ain't that big and I really can't. This, and all this conversation. All them people out there, Tasha Rogers, Monique Rogers, them, and Kevin Kev, them, and Toy McClain, Diddy, them, they kids. Mm-hmm. They had him in the backseat of a car doing the stuff to him. Oliver pulled him out the car and kept stomping on his neck as he whooped Oliver's tail. That was part of it too. Oliver telling people, "Oh, he ain't never give me nothing. He ain't never do." Okay, Ollie, what you was on, you and Lizzie? I'm finna get to that too. So his bones were sticking out his neck. Kenny Bo went and shot him 5 times in his head. They raped him, tied him up, raped him, broke his neck, and shot him 5 times in the head. Harold, you wild as hell too. Doochie Daddy was involved in all of them. I told you about Capo now. Jim Jones' daddy. I mean Capo daddy. How Capo come around trying to be on some crap. He the only one stupid that fell for it. The rest of his brothers, his brother Santana now, and his other brothers, they ain't fall for that. Like, man, your mama full of crap, and everybody. And that's when, Master P full of crap too. But he was like, man, she wasn't even your gal no more. Y'all wasn't even getting along. And this it. He said, why would you come way from New York on some bull crap? And your mama steady calling people, calling over there, told, oh, she with my son. And they finna get married and they finna. And my man 3 Stacks like, no, ma'am, that's my woman. He said, ma'am, she told me, that's my daughter. She was like, ma'am, have you ever lived in Jamaica? And I'm like, who are you talking to? I say, oh, no. That's Jim John. I said, that's Capo, mama. She said, who? I said, that's my man. I said, we finna get married. I told you that last time I seen you had been a little while because, man, my husband had already had one daughter. And then, we had been together. And then we got married, went on our honeymoon and everything. He had got me pregnant again, but he got killed before, I gave birth to. So he never seen her. Okay, other person that's involved was Nas and Ass. As Yet the rapper. Oh yeah. Dominic Combs. Mm-hmm. Otha Combs. Oh, let me get to it. But let me tell you how Ali now played me. He tried to explain like it was okay. See, James was doing stuff too. Bruno daddy, the Bruno Mars I partially raised. See, they already knew Elvin and them and Michael Cole and them and all that stuff. Let me get to it. So, Ali always kept trying to have sex with me. You know, Ali of the Lunatics. But he's a very large man down there. Very, very large. And me being slightly kind of like, I'm like a virgin. I can't handle that. He kept trying and kept trying. He used to be mad. He was to be pissed. Oh, well. So he started kicking with Ash. Because Ash can handle all that. All over her body. I can't do none of that. I really had never really had sex. And I'm like, yeah, my baby daddy, he was kind of big, but no, not like that. You know, you pretty much a horse. And that's what for real, him and Suge now. They got horse penises attached to their bodies. Ain't nothing I can do with that. So I'm laying in the bed one night. Somebody come in, they held me down. I'm flexible anyway. They put my legs on my shoulders. That didn't hurt me. I'm like, let me go. And I say, Ali, come on, we just finna do this and open you up. Girl, come on, maybe we I said, Ali, see what you doing? What you doing, man? We up arguing and all this stuff. It's late at night. You know, they took a knife to me, put a knife in my vagina area, and opened me up. Oh, I was messed up so bad, it ain't no way it can heal. Only way you know what's wrong with me if you been down there. Just to look at me, or even just the first open me. If you looking, you know how say you having sex, you wouldn't know. Not even just being up in me, you would have to be trying to be all over me to find out that I'm very open to a certain extent, not to a point where you could just have sex with me like that because it's opened all the way like that. That's damage. That's damage. Now, who could tell for real? It's like when I get ultrasounds done and all that, and they know. They always check. They check right there where you're supposed to, and you go up a little further. You can see all the damage. Ali did that to me. Yeah, Ali of the Lunatics. And I told you how Snoop Dogg brother and the guy Polo and Matt Rogers and that woman, this fat woman, that Polo started calling his mama. I don't know why I just said that was his mama, but that wasn't his mama. Their mom wasn't never fat like that unless she was pregnant. She built that one her. You know, that one her. And that's when they cut my penis. I was having sex or whatever and with him. He had just got through sucking on me or whatever. And it was going down. And when they bust in there, any man know what I'm talking about when your penis going down for being erect. It be going down. So when they did it was they cut it crazy. Cause now I got skin and stuff that's so okay. But the good thing about it, at least I wasn't all the way erect. Okay. So I had turned around. I was telling the other doctors how to heal me, and these doctors was like, "You were just so smart." Yeah, baby. Yes, I am. I'm looking. I'm trying. I'm doing everything because a lot of procedures never had really been done. And see, with me, had them went through stuff, they was able to help other people. hmm A lot of people that had them got done like that was able to build their bodies back up and get their penises back. Build their muscle. So. But some of them just said forget it. You know, because a lot of them got caught raping and all that type stuff. You know, some people hadn't did nothing. It was just a situation. But anyway, found another doctor, knew what he was doing. Went to they didn't know. So I had got a stent put in there to build my muscle back up. Oh, that hurted so bad because he had to get me hard. Oh my God, I was hurt. All that raw meat. I ain't had no skin. Oh my God, he had to wrap me up. He was finna go on vacation, so he hooked me up, did like I told him to do before he went on vacation. He put a catheter in there so I can, and I know how to change my own catheter back so I can pee and that way I won't have to touch myself and all that. I couldn't take no bath and nothing like that. I could just wash up, you know, and stuff like that. I was in my doctor's office at my other house. Everybody that knew, and that's the same house I had problems at too. I ended up shooting Otha. I shot Duck. I shot Kevin Durant. I shot this dude they called Lee, and every time it was more people in there. It was Kim Bun, Michael, Donald Trump Sr., April Edwards now. I'm talking about Jim Jones now. I'm talking I came in up in my home/office. They deep up in there. All walking around I ain't never seen them. What is y'all doing? But see, the feds set that up. Oh, yes, the feds did. Not for nobody to get hurt. The feds set that up. That house didn't belong to my daddy. They were saying they told me to act like that house belonged to my daddy. And how all of them knew where the house was at because of April Edwards and Jimmy Ford. It was April Edwards and Jimmy Ford to show everybody where that house was at. They didn't know the situation. It was two different offices in there because the people that used to live there were people of status too. They had them retired and had moved or whatever. So the Fed set it up for me to be in the house with the kids. Didn't nobody die, nothing like that. They were just wondering, you know. Now the way the house was built, you walk in. It was on YouTube. I had put it on. I had put it on there some years ago. I'm see if I can find it again. But the way the house is, it looks regular from the outside. You go in the living room, you go to the right, you go upstairs. There's 3 bedrooms upstairs. They're not. It's like 6 steps, 5 or 6 steps to get upstairs. 3 bedrooms. That's one. Then if you go back down, you go down the hall. It's a door. It's some steps. Bam. You go down, bedrooms with a living room, refrigerator, no stoves. There's just one room down there that had a stove. Okay, the rest of them just had microwaves and refrigerators. You go down some more steps, you go some more bedrooms. That was the house that was built down below. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That house was built so weird. They never would have known who was up in there. Somebody you could rush out of any angle. Could have tore their butts up, but I wasn't there, but I wasn't there or nothing. Only reason why I had came back after all that stuff, because the neighbors, people around her had called the authorities. Yeah, they called the police and the feds is already on it. So they know about Kevin Durant and them and Biden them and Trump and all this stuff. This is in the 80s. All this was before 1986. hmm And how all that altercation, I'm going off on them, but it started with Biden. I was pregnant. Oh, this, and all this. This is after my husband got killed. She done biting up her tongue behind me, no more kids and all this other stuff. And this. He ain't no good. Biting ain't no good. Not biting. I keep saying, pants. I ain't got no kids by no bite. Biting wife, remember I told y'all about my daughter? That's missing. Cookie Williams. Biting them came around me talking about that his daughter is not his daughter, and he think that that's my daughter Cookie. But the way he was telling it, and that nurse was saying that this is in the 80s. I'm like, I didn't have my baby Cookie Williams in no hospital in Belleville. No, wrong baby. That's somebody else, baby. Y'all got that ain't mine. That's how I met Biden. He really thought maybe that was my daughter. Mm-mm. Ain't no way possible. And the girl was too old. Biden, that girl he called his daughter, she was too old. My daughter I ended up having at Belleville Memorial Hospital. She got kidnapped and was born in the year 1987. But how me, Duck, and Otha had that altercation because I had trip wires in the yard for one. The alarm went off. I'm in the house. Here go Val Combs. That's what she called herself. All and kept using Otha Combs, them name, but I forgot her real last name. And she dated Dominic Fortner. When they started calling himself Dominic Combs. They walking up through the side of the houses. The alarm go off. So not only did my alarm go off, the neighbor's alarm went off too. We had trip wires. Mm-hmm. On the side of the houses. And I had three. I had a side patio, two side patios, different angles of the house, and then a backyard uh, patio. I didn't know who it was, and I what you on the side of my house for, and this, late at night. What y'all here for? And that's when the shooting happened, and I shot him. And I always say Otha no matter what because Otha brother also be saying he Otha. But I know their daddy is Otha saying. And Otha that day, yeah, both of them be saying they Otha. Yeah, look at the leg. You don't know who I shot. Look at them legs. Look at them jaws. Same way I did Chris Emerson. I didn't shoot him or nothing. He kidnapped my baby. He assisted in kidnapping. When my baby Christina first got kidnapped, I told you Kobe Bryant did it. Boom, my brother, Boom, and them was all in on it. You know what they did? They had drove down the street. Well, Lloyd and them was living there too. The single Lloyd, my baby, I got a son by him. Went down there, but they weren't living there then. And Christopher Emerson was with them. But then I told y'all about the situation about Juice, Anthony Carson. Told y'all about the baby being sold, all this other stuff. More tips is coming in. We knew Jim Jones them had something to do with it, all this other stuff. And we busted where they lived at in the John DeShields. And his daughter he had by somebody else and all this other stuff. And they run off in a limousine with Donald Trump. All this stuff happened. So much. Next thing I know, Christopher Emerson trying to fight me. For what? That's what even the single Morion asked him, why was you trying to fight her and do all this stuff towards her? When you the one messed up, you was in on Christopher Emerson. The one that we call Christopher Emerson, the one that be with Hachi them. Kendra and them, all of them in on the stuff together. Because where all them kids coming from? But where's mine? Where's Josh? Because the other Josh that kept coming around that was in federal jail, that ain't the Josh I dated. That's his brother. Now those two Joshes some kin to each other. Christopher Emerson name is not Emerson. Josh them last name ain't Emerson. That was some stuff that woman Charlene made up. Ain't none of them no kin together. Hachi ain't no kin to none of them. And Hachi family called him, JT, because that was his initials. Yeah. hmm That's where that joke come from, Bominicious. That what's the name said on her? Because he used to be like, what's his name? Because he used to tell people just call me by my initials. That's what Hachi used to be saying, And they'd be like, okay. So everybody would say, hey, Bominicious. They thinking that's what he was saying. That's where that joke come from. Anyway, but I don't deal with none of them. But anyway, what I did to Chris Emerson, he swore we fight. He fight me like I'm okay, and I whooped him. I cracked all this mandible, all this was like all messed up. Mm-hmm. Marion brother came. He said I'm tired of him. So gay butt up pretty on. He was mad at Chris Emerson. He said Chris Emerson raped him. Marion little brother. Marion little brother. His little brother looked like him. He just smaller. He's still shorter and smaller. He ain't built, Morbion got muscles. He big. Well, last time I seen him, he was big. But anyway, he come down the street. I had already broke Chris' jaw. When I hit him, because see what happened was when he hit me one time, I thought the fight was over. I walked off and he hit me when I was walking off and I fell. I said, oh, you want to fight. And I got up and I hit him one blow. Bam. It was already, from his mouth went, his whole jaw just dropped all this like, and then he came up and hit him with that wrench, and it went, whoa. Yeah, Chris Emerson ain't no good. Mm-mm, mm-mm. And then they staged the kidnapping on my baby shower and KK now. While we was in Illinois, acting like they saved them and all this other stuff. And Minnie Pooh called me and told me what they did. So they on some bull crap. They just acting like talking your kids is over here and this and that. And I ain't had nothing to do with that. Tell me they just mad because you don't deal with them no way. They do anything try to get some attention from you. Mm-hmm. And see, Karen Buchanan was in on it too. Talking about Minnie Pooh was lying. How she lying and I don't pull it up and got my kids and Drake and Lizzo them over there too and Lizzo daughters all of them in on it. Veronica, Andrea Washington, you ain't no good, wench. She was in on it the whole time. And see, that's when Peter and Brandy messed up too. But Peter was like, that's the stuff I was saying about her. So she worse than Tiffany now. So now Tiffany ain't kidnapped no kids or nothing like that. Tiffany just run her mouth about anything. She said Veronica doing stuff. She doing stuff. She participating in what they doing. Listening to Toy now. I say, yeah, it was Toy. It was Toy them telling them kids, so what y'all gonna do with Shonda move? And what you mean what they gonna do when I move? The same thing they been doing. Those ain't my kids, and them kids didn't hang around me. Them kids was around Niecy Hicks and them, man. All of them. And Niecy some kin to Shaka Khan them and all this other stuff, just one thing after another. That little girl Kiana, that's Shaka Khan daughter. That ain't Niecy daughter. The one they call Veronica Andrea Washington, that's Lizzo daughter. One of her daughters. All of them resemble each other. That little girl was just always just keep it up mess. When Lizzo started getting on stage and dressing like that, she gonna get mad at me. Tell me because I know her mama fat and why I got her wearing it. Hold up. Yeah, I know your mama fat. She pick up her own stuff. What the hell is you talking about, little girl? Every time her mama do something wrong, hold up. Your mama is not my child for one. What is you talking about? And Lizzo kept telling her, what is you talking about, girl? This little girl just try to find fault in their family and put it on me like, girl, is you crazy? My mama dressed the way she dressed. She hold the way she hold. Shit. There's her on the stroll and doing all that stuff, her Drake and being with Snoop Dogg. It ain't no shame in Snoop Dogg game. Hey, he tell it like it is. He let you know he bisexual, Do what he used to do. Do what he do. But all this stuff happened. All this stuff. And JT, which is Hachi, was going around talking about killing me and my kids and kept storing stuff, was following me around her in Florida, harassing people about me. People don't be knowing me. They know who I am. You know, because a lot of them read about me in books at school and see me on TV a long time ago and used to buy my music. Don't deal with them. And I told y'all ass, don't you ever in your life put me with no motherfucking Hachi now. I'm talking about he don't went to Dr. Francis, to my cancer doctor, all these people. But see, Hachi ain't realized, which is JT, these people don't do, you know, I'm a world-renowned doctor. I'm a famous scientist. You understand what I'm saying? I got my DEA license to do all this stuff. I'm fantastic. I am wonderful. And you know, when what's her name was trying to say that poem? Phenomenal Woman. Oh, I wrote that. I've been proud of myself. I am a phenomenal woman. I wrote that. That's why a lot of this stuff, them lies and all this stuff, is getting off the internet because the truth had been out. You know? And then Ampadu, the man that kept calling himself a doctor in Illinois, came down here. Ballinger and them knew the truth. Who else? This other doctor that deal with Dr. Nunez. She a good doctor. Dr. Nunez, yeah, she a family doctor, internal family, whatever she is. Dr. Nunez is a good doctor, but the person that she worked with, that man ain't no good. Forgot his name, but that's the man that had met Aaron. Aaron when Aaron was going to college, the day to land Mills. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people was that man wasn't no good. And he ain't no doctor himself. He tried to contest my credentials and all this type stuff. Oh, he messed up. He opened up a can of worms because he not even a doctor. He had called himself going to be a sports doctor other places and all that stuff. They got pictures, all type stuff. All these are totally different, man. These are people he was related to, and he didn't know nothing about being a doctor. Oh, we didn't people bust him out about all the stuff he did wrong. Nunez good. She didn't need that man to do nothing. Nunez, she all right. Hey, they needed. He needed them. You know. Mm-hmm. Then he gonna tell me, well, you said no. The only thing I told him to start out small. You know, cause he was messing. I'm like, how in the world he even passed the test to be a MD? Are you really an MD? Cause is some stuff that happened. He messed up on. And a couple of the people that was on them teams, parents and are in different fields. And one of the guys that got hurt, and his mom was an RN. So it's a lot of stuff she know too. She know when something is a break, a sprain, and you know. And sports medicine is so easy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So kudos to Nunez and Riviera, gastroenterologist. You got stomach problem. These doctors are down here in Florida. Avon Hospital. Good doctors. Mm-hmm. Riviera team, they all right. They all right. Had to fuss at them a few times. We argued a little bit, you know, but it wasn't nothing bad about me not getting my care or misleading stuff or anything like that, you know. Okay. It's gonna tell me to wait because they want more of my energy and my inspiring moments and